What's up, guys? JCC222422724JC here. I'm just petting my kitty. You can ironically see some claw marks from her. But yes, this is my kitty. She's sleeping on my bed. Her name is Ray. She's adorable. Yeah, she's the cutest thing ever. I love her. But anyways, this video is not about her, even though it clearly should be. This video is about my displays. Comic Figgy Blog, Andrew, whatever you want to call him. I call him a piece of shit. He tagged me in a video talking about displays, and the three main things he talked about were clusters, clean displays, and layered displays. He was talking about tiering, having bigger guys up in the back and smaller guys in the front. He was talking about just having a cluster of guys like this, and he was asking if that looked impressive or just overwhelming. And he was talking about just having nice, clean displays, kind of like my Masterpiece Transformers, how they're just nicely lined up. Yeah, I would say with my displays in my room, I'm happy with some of them. Like, I love my War and Fall of Cybertron stuff. And my Mr. Freeze stuff is pretty good. However, there's some things that I'm not really too happy with. Like, you can see these upper shelves, this Marvel shelf up here. I did kind of try my best to have bigger guys in the back. However, you can't really see everybody all that clearly. A big problem with that is, of course, the shelf being super high. This is typically the angle I'm looking at it from. So a lot of taller characters you don't see that well. Also, other displays that I just have more clean is my Force Unleashed display and, my Lego stuff. My Lego clones are very nicely lined up. However, a lot of my displays are just a mess of stuff. Some of these displays are so packed that I can just kind of poke. I can poke a character, and they're not going to fall because it's just so packed in there that, it's not going to knock anything over. They're just getting kind of rustled, and some of these I kind of have to feed them in, like say this U3PO or TC-14. I just kind of have to feed it in there and hope it kind of looks decent. I hate these kind of displays. He was saying, does it look impressive? Does it look kind of overwhelming? To me, I really don't like them. I really don't want these guys like this anymore, and I'm hoping when I rearrange my displays, they will not be this freaking crowded. However, there are some things where I like an overwhelming look. My clones, for example. I really do like this massive army look. It looks really freaking awesome, and I can't get enough of how awesome just seeing entire rows and rows of troopers looks. I love that look. There's also certain looks I like having just hordes of armors. Just tons of Iron Man armors, lined up in numbered order. Another thing he talked about was tiers. He was talking about, having smaller figures in the front. You can see with my Iron Man stuff, I have Legos and the 3 3/4 inch and the 6 inch, then like Build-A-Figures and bigger figures and all that. Also, one thing I have done, my Transformers shelf was not easy to make. It's just a giant piece of wood board going over this shelf, so it kind of leaks over down there, and also it kind of has a little bit of stuff there. However, you can see I used Transformers boxes. I used boxes from Transformers Prime Voyagers, boxes from Transformers Prime Takara figures. I used a lot of boxes, even with my Iron Man stuff. You can see in this corner there how Ultron and them are a little taller. That's because I used a Black Series Clone Trooper box. Using figure boxes are very useful. Even going over to my Gundam stuff, you can see I used a Power Rangers Legacy Blue Ranger box to have a few figures on top of. I used some random white box, and I used some random Star Wars trading card game box. I don't know, it's something where I just wanted figures taller, and I didn't want, say, my Gundam figures all looking like them, where it's just a horde of guys just like that. I wanted them to be a little more tiered, and that's why I gave them a little bit of a lower shelf. This is my eye level, so looking down on them, you can see pretty much all the mobile suits nice and clear, and I really do enjoy that look. But one of my absolute favorite methods of display is kind of making a little bit of a diorama. The diorama kind of got lost with my Hoth stuff after a while when I needed to cram my Imperials in here too. However, I used to have, I still have Dak getting in the snow speeder there. I still have, some guys running around doing stuff, 2-1B taking care of Luke, Hoth Rebel behind the thing. I used to have Riken talking to Leia and all that. I even had to sacrifice this nice display just to have room for stuff. And that really, really sucks. I even have a little bit of a diorama kind of going on with my cantina stuff. They're all talking to each other and all that. That's really cool. However, one thing I've always wanted to do is take styrofoam, cardboard, paints, all that, and make dioramas. One diorama I'm hoping I can make here soon is just a standard, desert battlefield. I could use it for Star Wars, like for Tatooine. I could use it for Iron Man, have the Mark 1 buried in it. I could use it for Transformers, because a lot of the earlier seasons took place in the desert. I could use it for Gundam, because when they were on Earth, most of the time it was a desert environment. I could use that for so many different things, and I would love to have a diorama display. I'm hoping, for my studio look, a lot of these figures are not going to be in my room anymore. They're going to be in a different room. However, I am going to have various rotating displays, where I'm going to have various dioramas on each shelf, and each character and each thing doing something, not just standing there, because while I do like some figures just standing there, it's not really my ideal thing. I really like them doing something. And you can see, given how most of my displays are just characters standing there, it's a little frustrating. It's actually really frustrating for me. I would love to actually have these guys doing something. However, one thing where I just like them standing there is Transformers. One thing that the Comic Figure Blog made a mention of is that this is the way to display Transformers. The overwhelming amount of color you get, especially for Autobots, is astonishing. So many different colors. Some characters just pop out. Unfortunately, others get lost because they're just kind of generic color schemes. But it's really impressive. Say the Decepticons, a lot of them are blue. So some of the blue ones and purple ones don't really show that well. However, it just looks impressive. It looks cool. I really do like just having my Transformers, bunched up like that. But for other figures, I feel like they're made for dioramas. 3 3/4 in Star Wars is made for dioramas. They have environments, they have set pieces, they have play sets, they have vehicles. They're made to set up dioramas and have fun with and play with them, for kids, because toys are for kids. So I think I've pretty much said all I need to say. He made it a tag video. A lot of people watch my videos, so I don't think I should particularly tag anybody. But if any of you guys want to make a video talking about how you display your stuff, showing off your collections, be my guest. You can send me the video, say posting in a YouTube comment, oh hey, I posted a response, check out my channel, or send me a Facebook message, Instagram message. I will take a look at your video because I'm really interested to see your guys' responses. Well, anyways, that is it. Let us return to my kitty cat. Hello. Hello, Ray. How are you today? You doing good? You're doing good. I love you, Ray. You're my boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. I'll stop.